Shalom, I'm Gideon, and this is House of Gideon. Let's build. Part 1. Set for defense. The Watchmen Against Babylon. When the faithful rise against the beast. Purpose of this teaching, to ignite a fierce and unshakable spiritual boldness in the righteous remnant. This is the call of the hour. Just as Judah Maccabee rose with holy fire in his bones amidst betrayal, persecution, and defiled altars, so must we rise now, undarted and unwavering, in this present age of global deception, collapsing morality, technological sorcery, rising beast systems, and the drums of war echoing through the nations. The time for silence has passed. We are not called to blend in with Babylon, but to stand apart, set apart. The same rock that stirred Judah to action must stir us to confront darkness with light, to tear down idols, and to proclaim the truth without fear. This is the hour of holy resistance. The remnant must rise. The historical trigger of June 28th. June 28th, 1914, the match that lit the First World War. On this day in 1914, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in the heart of Sarajevo set the world ablaze. A single shot that thundered across continents and plunged the nations into the abyss of World War I. But this was no random act of violence. It was a spark igniting a carefully stacked power keg of enemies, secret alliances, and hidden agendas. Monarchies that had stood for centuries crumbled. Borders were redrawn, not with ink, but with blood. Out of the ashes, new powers emerged, and old ones rebranded themselves. The so-called Legion of Nations rose, promising peace, yet sowing seeds of further division. From the smoke of the battlefield, the idolatry of modern Zionism gained momentum, using the chaos as a cloak to establish footholds in Palestine. These weren't isolated events, they were calculated steps in a long, dark game, orchestrated by rulers and principalities. Behold, behind the veil. World War I wasn't just a war, it was a reset, a reordering of the world, and the opening chapter of a greater deception that would shape the 20th century and beyond. But beyond politics and borders, this was profoundly spiritual. Behind the thrones and treaties, an ancient war was escalating. The dragon was staring in the shadows. Revelation 12, 1-3. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. The beast system was evolving, preparing for its final form. Revelation 13, 1-2. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 horns and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. Babylon was shifting and merging with Rome's legacy. Daniel 7, 7-8. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. And I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom they were 3 of the first horn, plucked up by the root. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. The spirits of war were loosed upon the earth. Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. The foundation of global control were being laid through blood and manipulation. The merchants of the earth were positioning themselves. Revelation 18:10-13. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come, and the merchant of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and of iron and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beast and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. Zion was being stirred from slumber. Joel 3:9-12. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into stones and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down. O Yahawah, let the heathen be awakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. The remnant was being scattered, but not forgotten. Amos 9:9. For lo, I will command, and I will shift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. The time of the Gentiles was reaching its height. Luke 21:24-26. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, unto the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, man's heart failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Yahawah's prophetic timeline was advancing toward its appointed end. Ecclesiastes chapter 3:1. To everything there is a season, and every time to every purpose under the heaven. Isaiah 41:10-11. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done. Sing, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasures. Calling a ravenous bird from the east, the man that executes my counsel from a far country. Yea, I have spoken it. I will also bring it to pass. I have purposed it. I will also do it. Linking the past to the present. Prophetic hour. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. And Yahawah requires that which is past. Ecclesiastes 3:15. As we look at today's world, June 28th, 2025, the echoes of history are roaring louder than ever, just like in the days of Judah Maccabee, when the wicked rulers defiled the sanctuary and outlawed the commandments. We now see a system warning against righteousness, flooding the earth with deception. And just like in 1914, when a single event ignited a world war, Today's stage is set, economies crumbling, war drums beating, morality collapsing, and the beast tightening its grip. Global economies are collapsing. Digital currencies and surveillance systems are replacing freedom. Warships are moving. Missiles are ready. The beast is tightening its grip. Morality is mocked. Children are corrupted. The righteous are being censored, shadow banned, and persecuted. The nations rage, and the people imagine a vain thing. Psalms 2 verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? But this is not just political, it is deeply spiritual. This is not just history repeating, it's prophecy accelerating. The dragon is no longer hiding. The spirits of war and lawlessness are at work. But just as Yahawah raised up deliverers, then he is raising up a remnant now, refined, set apart, fearless. Daniel 11, 30-33. For the ships of Chichim shall come against him. Therefore he shall be grieved and return and have indignation against the holy covenant. So shall he do. He shall even return and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant. And arms shall stand on his part. And they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifices, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate. And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall be corrupted by flatteries. But the people that do know Yah shall be strong and do exploits. And they that understand among the people shall instruct many. Yet they shall fall by the sword, and by flame, by captivity, and by spoil many days. Stay set apart. The war is spiritual, and the remnant must rise. How the world looks today, June 2025. Number 1, global wars and rumors of war. Ongoing wars in Gaza, Ukraine, Sudan, and the rising flames of conflict with Iran and China are not isolated crises. They are pieces of a greater end-time puzzle. Blood is crying from the ground. Cities are crumbling. The nations are stirred like a cauldron, boiling with hatred, fear, and pride. The United States, which is a symbol of strength, is now preparing for war on multiple fronts. New military strategies, whisper of a draft, cyber defense drills, and the rise of AI-controlled weaponry. The weapons of tomorrow are being unleashed today. Even Canada, Europe, and the nations of Africa are no longer neutral. They are entangled politically, economically, and spiritually in preparation for a new global order led by beasts, like powers that seek to enslave the world under a banner of peace, but rule with a rod of iron and deceit. This is not just politics, it's prophecy. The final pieces are moving into place. Joel chapter 3, 9-12. Proclaim ye among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves, and come all, ye heathen, and gather yourselves together around about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahawah. Let the heathen be weakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. The nations are being gathered for judgment. The remnant must be awakened. The time is no longer far off. It's now. Precepts, Matthew 24, 5-8. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, and pestilence, and earthquakes, in divers places. And all these are the beginning of sorrows. 2 Ezra 15, 14-16. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and the swords in their hand. For there shall be seditions among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor prince, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Revelation 13, verses 4. And they worship the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. Isaiah 13, 4-5. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of the nations gathered together. Yahawah of hosts mustereth the hosts of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahawah, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Moral collapse and blasphemies. How the world looks today, June 2025. In this generation, we are watching ancient spirits resurface, wearing modern clothes, using new tools. Things that used to be hidden in the dark are now celebrated in the open. Identity confusion, open rebellion, and spiritual deception broadcasted daily. The covenant sign given after the flood has been rebranded. But those who know the scriptures understand its true meaning. It was never meant to represent pride and sin, but mercy after judgment. The minds of children are being reshaped not by accident, but by design. The system speaks soft words, but its roots go back to Babel. The same confusion, the same rebellion, the same tower reaching up against the Most High. Entertainment and media, no longer neutral. They push enchantments, spiritualism, and false enlightenments, preparing minds to merge man with machine and erase the image of the Creator. But the remnant is awake. We are not ashamed of the covenant. We are not deceived by false light. We know that Babylon is fallen, and Yahawah's word is standing forever. 2 Ezra 5:1-3. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of the truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago, and the land that thou seest now to have root, shalt thou see wasted suddenly. Precepts. Genesis chapter 9:13. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Wisdom of Solomon 14:27. For the worshipping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the curse, and the end, the cause and the end of all evil. 2 Timothy chapter 3:1-4. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, pride, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affections, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than the lovers of Yah. 2 Corinthians chapter 11:13-14. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles of Hamashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Revelation 18:3-4. For all the nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. The remnant must rise. Now is the appointed time. This is no longer a rehearsal. The trumpet has sounded. The scrolls are open. The heavens are watching. And June 28th was not just a day of assassination in 1914. It was a prophetic ignition, a shaking, a warning, a whisper of what was to come. And now, in June 2025, that whisper has become a roar. The world is not waiting for a prophecy, it is prophecy. The seals are opening. The sorceries are swelling. The image of the beast is forming in plain sight, and the lines are being drawn not by nations, but by the Most High. Yahawah is not calling for passive believers. He is summoning warriors of righteousness, purified in affliction, sanctified by truth, sealed with purpose. Isaiah 61:2. Arise, shine, for the light has come, and the glory of Yahawah is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But Yahawah shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. The darkness is thick, but our calling is thicker. This is not the time for retreat. It is an hour to stand bold, cry loud, and spare not. Ezekiel 9:4. And Yahawah said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Remnant, where are the ones sighing and crying? Where are the righteous that won't bend the knee to Babylon, that won't kiss the ring of Rome, that won't compromise the covenant? Jeremiah 6:16 and 17. Thus saith Yahawah, Stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But ye said, We will not walk therein. Also I set watchmen over you. Sing, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But say, We will not hearken. Many refuse to hearken. Many love smooth words and false peace. But you, remnant, are called to be the trumpet. Deception is rising. So is the deliverer. The fire of affliction is heating up. But so is the faith of the chosen. The nation rage, but Zion is awakening. Micah chapter 4:10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. Thou, Yahawah, shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. Let the righteous not be afraid. Let the watchmen not hold their peace. Let Judah war once more with the boldness of the prophets, the might of Maccabees, and the fire of Elijah. We were not born for fear. We were born for this fight. We were not scattered to die. We were sifted to rise. We were not chosen to blend. We were chosen to stand out and stand firm. Romans 13:11-12. And that knowing the time, that now is the high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. So I say this, boldly and without fear. Let the remnant rise. Let the slumbering awaken. Let Zion shake off the dust. Let every watcher blow the trumpet. Let every idol be cast down. Let every voice of truth thunder across the wilderness. Because Babylon is falling, and the kingdom is coming. Prepare ye the way of Yahawashi. The war is spiritual, the battle is now, and the remnant must rise. This message is part 1 of a 2-part message. Shalom. Stay strong in the faith. Subscribe and join the gathering of the set apart. If this message moved you, don't just watch. Subscribe and stand with the REMNANT.